Okay, let's discuss the narrative in a bit. Um, let's go through some of my observations. So I will be very careful because I know that some people haven't actually seen the concert. They want to experience the concert live. So I will try not to give away any kind of spoiler in terms of what the concert is about, the story, the narrative. So I will just concentrate on certain elements in the concert, and then after the concert is done, that's when I'll do like an actual like analysis of the entire concert with all the details. So for now, I'm just going to be mentioning things relevant to general observations, like different aspects of a concert, if I'm making sense. Okay, so I think in terms of concept, while his albums were explorations, this concert is actually a reflection. So, if you would observe his albums in all the releases that he has done, meaning the albums and music videos, they are so varied in terms of style and narrative and image, aesthetics. It's just so different. And I think that was because that was him trying to explore his artistry, trying to push himself and sort of see where he's going to fit in and how good he can do certain things. So that was his album. It was all about exploration. But the concert is more a reflection. It was more him trying to look back and make sense of the different creative and artistic pieces of him that he scattered around when he was exploring. So you can probably sort of, maybe the symbolism, not really symbolism, but you can sort of compare it to a painter that's creating his masterpiece or masterpieces. In the process of creating those masterpieces, you scatter all the paints, all the different art materials that you're going to do in order to complete that masterpiece. And then after several years, the artist comes back into a room and organizes everything so that he can see the masterpiece in all its glory. So that was the concert. I think that's sort of the purpose that it served. It was him reflecting and organizing all these creative ideas that he has. Like, okay, so where does this fit in? Like when I was exploring, I'm not really thinking about the chronology or the narrative or where things should fall into place. But now that I am done with this part of my exploration, I come back and make sense of all of this, like organize this. So I think that was what the concert was about. And that is also why like there was no real chronology in terms of how he arranged his songs, because if you would observe, like there were latter songs that he released much later that he put in front, right? This is the order of his albums, but in the concert itself it was like jumbled. Like he would sing one song from this album and then another song from this album. So, because I think he was sort of organizing things in order to make sense, get a better picture of the masterpiece or the masterpieces that he created. Okay, so these are just screen caps. I'm not going to show the entire thing. All right, so, and one, you can, the way that he rearranged the songs will actually tell you the story. I won't give my analysis first. As I've said, I kind of want people, I don't want to spoil it for people. I know that some people kind of want to experience it directly. So I'm not going to tell you the narrative, or at least how I interpreted the narrative. But if you look at the track list, you can kind of get the story that he was trying to tell. So if you categorize this, like if you categorize the first, I think he divided into three different parts. And if you categorize this, if you determine what kind of categories these songs are, you will be able to tell what the narrative is, what's the story that he's actually trying to relay to us. Also, his wardrobe progression also added to the storytelling. If you observe how he either, if you observe the progression or regression, depending on how you want to interpret it. It's actually a utility for his storytelling. So he opened with something really grand with this red, very loud, striking red on stage. Everything was dark. And then he was wearing something red. So he stood out. It was grand. Like if you look at him, he looked like an absolute superstar in that. And then as the concert progresses, he started dressing down. So if you that the change in the wardrobe, that's part of the story he was trying to communicate. Dodger Girl said, right, it was like from where he is now to where he was before. Yeah. So like in the latter part of the concert, he was so dressed down already, very very casual. Still gorgeous, by the way. This is J-Hope we're talking about, but very much, very far from the red, the striking red that he was wearing in the beginning of the concert. Next thing is that he spent a good amount of the entire concert alone on stage. He was um it was basically him most of the time. He was dancing, he was singing all on his own. And in the few times, and there were even segments like when I Don't Know and Neuron, I think was it Neuron? Um there were only one person he was dancing with. So it was as if the goal is for people to really look at him and watch him and listen to him and not spend any time thinking about anything else. I think that was his goal. And that, again, in itself tells a story, what kind of story he was trying to communicate. And also, that I think he was just absolutely gutsy to do it because, a lot of people, the reason, if you watch concerts of other artists, if you observe, many of them would actually fill the stage with dancers, with great sets, because that is one way of making the audience feel as if the concert or the event is actually bigger than it is. If they're intimidated by the stage and they don't think that they have enough skill or talent to actually fill it, they make it really, really grand. For J Hope, it was the opposite. He removed much of the designs and the clutter on stage and made everybody look at him. Even in the opening, when it was just a cloth floating in the air, flying in the air, and then he appears. Like I thought that was like a huge statement for him, where he blocked everything out and he just wants people to look at him when he performs. I do think that there are three personas in the concert, but my favorite was Jack. If you would, that vision of him singing and at the back of him is Jack, I thought it was absolute genius. But again, it's also a clue of the story he was trying to tell, because Jack appeared very, very, very early in the concert. It was like in the first half, not first half, but like first quarter of the entire concert. So I thought that was like a huge statement. But that was my favorite. And I think Jack is the anchor of the story. If you can understand what he was trying to do in the beginning, it will be easier for you to understand the story he was trying to tell in the entire concert. I also think he tested his vocal limit because he was both singing and he was dancing. Sorry, rapping as well. And yes, he was dancing too. You want to go down, baby? Say bye bye. Bye, everybody. Say, I want to go to my. Oh, you're not. Okay, you're not going down. Okay. I thought you wanted to go down. You wanted to go down? So it's very, very, bye, Rena. It's very important actually. For one of the things that many singers or many performers don't do is to know how to sustain their voice, like to take care of it in order for them to last the entire tour. And I think this 3 days, that's what he was doing. Like he was testing how much he can push himself in order to sound really grand but not lose it, still have enough to actually sustain his voice for the entire tour. It would be interesting to see actually. We saw what happened to, he doesn't want to go down. Say bye bye, baby. Say bye. Just want to go down. Okay, we saw what happened to Suga. I mean, by the second, and he admitted it, that more than half of the tour he was already sick because he was performing 3 days straight in a week, and I guess he just didn't realize the kind of toll it was going to take on his body. So I think this part for him was really a way. It was him testing his vocal limits. I also felt like he was like finding his rhythm in terms of hyping the crowd, communicating with the crowd. And it was absolutely he's trying, he doesn't want to go down. You have to go down, baby. So he was like, I think in the first day you can see not really nerves, but more like he was a little tentative on how he's going to um there's a public alert on my phone, emergency alert. So there's he was trying to like find his rhythm, like find the kind of communicator he is, like find his tonality on how he wants to properly communicate with his fans. Because having seven boys with him, six boys with him on stage is so different because you spread the ad libs. Somebody can hype while you're rapping. Somebody can hype while you're singing. If you're getting tired, somebody else can take your place when you're dancing in the middle. If you're all alone, it's all on you. You hype yourself. You communicate the fans all with the fans all in on all on your own. So I think in the first show, I could see like he was testing how do I communicate? Do I scream? Do I become excited? And by the third show, he was so confident. Like he was so chill. I think he found his rhythm. Like he's starting to know who he is on stage when he's all alone. And it was a pleasure to see. Okay. Phaedra, good night. You're leaving. I'm Jazzy J. It's amazing that J Hope is the only one that hasn't had a scandal out there. They haven't had any scandal. I mean, not big ones, you know. That's J Hope for you. This is actually my favorite. His first well, this is my second favorite. His first wardrobe, the first show. That's my second favorite. Okay. And I also realized that he's one of the few artists who is an actual quadruple threat. So he can dance, he can sing, he can rap, but he also has the dramatics. Like he can actually act on stage. He can project a specific kind of emotion. It's like a theater actor, but this one is a concert. So, and that is so rare because you wouldn't like there's a lot of great rappers and great performers out there, but they don't necessarily have the dramatics. He can do that. He has that ability to actually act out the story and communicate the narrative. And then the box. Have you all like figured out what the box means? I think it was so funny that in every concert he would take it out. He would actually mention that it is an important thing, but never explained what it is. So I've heard several theories. One is that this is the box where Jack is. um, and then others said that it is the box in Idol. Dodger Girl said, I understand the box. Okay, what is it, Dodger Girl? What's your theory? What is your theory on the box? So I do think that I kind of want to say how I interpret it, but I don't, again, I also don't want to spoil everybody's experience. So I will just leave it be. I think at the end of the tour, that's when I will explain how I interpreted the box. Um, MJD said it's Pandora's box, it's hope. It's Pandora's box, it's hope. Yeah, but there has to be more to it because he would always bring it, but never like do anything with it. Like he would just say this is important and then put it down and then never do anything with it. So there has to it has to play a role, right? Like do more active thing. It's some sort of a plot twist, in other words. Pandora's box. J-Hope, Jazzy J. J-Hope has two different personalities when he is on stage and away from the stage. My question, will the real J-Hope stand up? Okay, Dodger Girl said, I believe that this is a special place where J-Hope lives. It is his place of peace. It is the stage where he feels the most comfortable. Okay. Because I haven't seen the concert yet. Okay, Jazzy J. You haven't seen the concert yet. Okay. That's why I'm trying to be careful not to give a lot away. And then you have to look at the stage. The stage in itself is actually a part of the story. This is the best picture that I found. It's not much because it's so far from the stage. You can't see it clearly. But the stage itself is a part of the story. So you have to look at how he actually divided the stage, even the color, the production lights, all of that. Those are all part of the story he's trying to tell. So just observe like how it actually looks like, where he is, what's moving, what's not moving. If you put all of those together, then you will be able to actually um, understand what the narrative is. So J-Hope out of the box. The room he was in the box in the beginning of this, the room he was in the box in the beginning of the VCR. Yes, he was in the box. Yeah, I agree with Pandora's box. Hope remains. I think the Pandora's box is kind of like almost a given, not really a given, but yeah, almost a given. But there has to be, that's I think my point. Like there has to be more to the box. Why does he carry it, not say anything about it, and just put it down? And he was like, oh, this is an important thing, let me put it down, and then just continue saying like, okay, explain to us what it is, right? Like say something about it. He explained his new song Sweet Dreams, but does not explain what this one is. So let's see, when is J-Hope in Fallon? The 10th or the 11th? Yeah, the ticket is out. People were trying to buy, all out. The ticket for that show for Jimmy Fallon is actually out. I saw Army screaming Taeyong when he had the box. Yeah, March 10th for Jimmy Fallon. He said it's his safe zone. Yeah. Okay, disease was one of the things that escaped from Pandora's box. I think that the meaning for him, in my opinion, is that he has finally been he's finally been released from the box that contained him. He is now allowed to spread his wings. The box is designed to show infinity when he held at the right angle. Yes, it was designed to show infinity. Actually, in most angles, you can actually see infinity. The years of J-Hope and Suga collab have paid off. Pandora explained his hope to himself in Army, perhaps. KG said, to me, it's the missing members, so he takes them with him in the box. Just me. Someone said that because it looks like the box that they used in Idol, in the music video Idol. Like they were in the box there, right? When they were that, they had that element. So someone said like, oh, it looks like the box in the Idol. I do think it is kind of connected to Pandora's box. So it's just a question of, so what specifically is it? Like if it is Pandora's box, what specifically is it? So yeah, it would be exciting to actually, I think it has a payoff either after the concert or at the last day of his concert. I think he's going to have an encore in Korea, by the way. Just like how Suga did it. Like after several weeks, had his last 2-3 shows in Korea. I think he's going to do the same. And I think something is going to happen with the box. Okay. I think red box meaning will be revealed at the end of the tour. Just guessing. Oh, we have the same guess, MJD. I think something's going to happen. So it's just a matter of like trying to deduce what that red box is. But I think it's a genius move on his part to actually do that. because now people are talking. Like, what is that box about? Right? Which is like a unique element for him because they don't usually do that. Bring in a prop in a concert and then like have a narrative latch onto it. Okay. Celeste said, I think he has many meanings. They always have more than one message. Correct. That is true as well. That is true. That is true. So, okay. So, is everybody here? Do you all have tickets for his tour? And for those that are joining me in my suite, so again, just want to reiterate that I'm going to get the tickets 10 days before the actual event. So, when I get it, I will let you all know. I'm going to get in touch with you. Um, my only request is I hope that you can all be a member of my Patreon if you are not a member yet, because I want to create a um, Telegram, or what's the other one? WeChat, not WeChat. What's up? So that I can communicate with you guys. And also, I want to go on a Korean barbecue. So that's a Friday. Maybe we can go Korean barbecue Saturday. So, um, so if you can be a member of my Patreon, so that it's easier to communicate with everybody, which is keystone to Army to ask questions and to solve mystery. Okay. LA have a lot of tickets. So I just want to clarify for those that are asking for the tickets of maybe I can open it. So tickets were actually already initially sold out except for California. And then announced that they were going to release more tickets, but it was going to be limited view. So many of the tickets that you're seeing from in other states like New York, Chicago, those are newly released tickets and they are limited view. So my guess is that there is enough demand, but they couldn't but J-Hope couldn't do more shows, probably because they already have plans for the return of the members, schedules, and all of those stuff. So, they just decided to add more seats. But the initial like the initial release of tickets, those were sold out. Limited view tickets, J-Hope. Okay, let me see if I can see the tweet just so everyone is here. Okay, so everyone knows. Okay, I'll show you. Because everyone was like, oh, it's not sold out or whatever. It was sold out. It's just that they decided they were going to release limited. There you go. A limited number of side view tickets will be available for J-Hope Tour, Hope on the Stage in Brooklyn. So there were a lot of, but as you can see, they already marked it sold out. And then they just added more seats, which is limited view. Now, the only one that has tickets still is California, primarily because I think I've mentioned this to everybody. We just had a devastating fire, so a lot of people actually lost their homes. But even then, it's only a few, just few tickets. And then the other thing that played to J-Hope's disadvantage is that Ticketmaster decided to do platinum pricing, which they shouldn't do. I mean, especially not in a state that has been devastated by a huge fire. So a lot of people here lost their homes. So it's expected that things are going to be tight. Many of those people that have lost their homes, they haven't they haven't been allowed back into their homes, and they haven't gotten their rental. So FEMA is supposed to give them rental, but they haven't gotten that. So they're kind of still really, really tight. And that was the reason Ticketmaster decided to delay the selling of the ticket because of the fire. So, but for everything else, for all the other states, it's already sold. Okay, so that's an announcement number one. Announcement number two, if there's somebody that told me that their suite in LA for the same day where I have a suite, they still have, and it's right beside mine, they still have tickets in their suite. So if you want, like if you have relatives from other countries that want to watch, this is their chance. So her suite still have several tickets, several seats left. So if you're interested, so it's going to be April 4. My suite is also April 4. So her suite is also April 4, and it's right beside mine. So if you want tickets, if you want a suite, let me know and I will refer you to her so that the two you can transact. Okay. However, so for our suite, I kind of wanted like to have dinner so that I can sit down with you guys and have a conversation or whatever. She does not have dinner in her suite, but you can order. But if you guys decide to have like take some seats in her suite because it's right beside ours, you can let me know and we can order extra so that we all can have like dinner in my suite. Okay. Is that like clear? Does that make sense to everybody? Also, I think she still has like 2 tickets for a suite in Dallas. So, and then Bang Luna has tickets like standing only, but all of her like tickets with seats, they're all taken, but she has standing. Okay. Um, Finding April. It's been a while. I miss joining your live stream. We miss you too here. You should. I'm trying to do it earlier because I know people like it's especially for the ones that are in the east. It's super late. So, Danji, I will have to watch your recap. Sorry, I have to go back to studying. Okay, bye, Danji. Thank you for joining us. Okay, so shall we talk about Minhee Jin? MG, that's very sweet of you, Fairlane. Yeah, so her sweet. So remember, if you have like relatives or friends from other countries and they want to watch and they couldn't because they limited the number of tickets. I mean, they limited the sale of the tickets to US residents. Um, so yeah, you can tell me so I can tell her and connect the two of you. So because she has seats in her suite. And as I've said, if you want to join us for dinner, just let me know and then we paid for our dinner, by the way. So we can order extra so that we can all have dinner. Reg said it's 3 a.m. Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay.